All you need to do to create your pivot table is click anywhere in that data once briefly, and I do mean briefly so that you don't end up with a cursor flashing in there. We're going to go to the Insert tab, and we're going to select Pivot Table. Now, you know the 2010 and 2007 buttons oftentimes have two components. That is true of this Pivot Table button. We could use the drop-down and we could select Pivot Table, or we could simply click on the upper half of the button and activate the Pivot Table wizard. So we get a wizard that will help us work through setting up our pivot table. Frankly, there isn't much to do here. They make it pretty easy for us. You may have noticed that as this box was activated, then I activated, or that activated, what is called a marquee or marching ants around the collection of data. So the computer is recognizing this collection of data as a cohesive or comprehensive list. If you get to this point and your pivot table isn't recognizing the source data, you need to cancel and figure out what's going on with that list. There's going to be some inconsistency in there. So you may have text in a number field or something like that that's going to keep Excel from recognizing it as your list. At any rate, we can see this list is represented here in the table range box, and the only other choice that we have at this moment that we're going to use is that we can choose where our pivot table is going to live. Now, we generally, and I would say especially if you're new to pivot tables, put them out on a new worksheet so that you don't disrupt your source data. You just leave it sitting as it was. Click on OK, and it says it requires at least 2 rows. So I've already been busy clicking around, and I need to begin my process again. So I'm always telling other people they need to control their clicking. It looks like I need to do the same. And I go back and click once. I say Insert Pivot Table, and now I have been taken to a new sheet tab. You'll notice at the bottom it's next to the source data I was using. It's called Sheet 1. We'll want to make sure that we name that sheet tab later. And I've got my field list that we were discussing a minute ago on the right side. On the left side, I have a representation of the pivot table structure. What I really need to watch at this point is as soon as I start manipulating my field list on the right side, the left side is going to start changing to reflect what I'm doing. It's at this point, again, that people think, oh no, I've just messed it up. And then they try starting over, and they can't ever get past this point.